Hello. So we've got a bit of a big announcement coming on this episode. And I guess we just wanted to do a little bit of an introduction to it first. I am going to be talking on my own for a bit.
And then I'll chip in, or some creature that isn't me is going to chip in. And then we'll come back together.
And then we'll come back together.
So yeah, if you listen and you're like, oh gosh, this is going on, where's this going? Just stick with it because
it's a beautiful thing.
Stay till the end.
Yeah. And
okay.
that's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Bye.
ADHDAF Females, the podcast.
We did it for the acronym.
Welcome to extra special bonus blether announcement, I guess. First of all, this has been recorded, both video and audio. So if you're a member of the community, you'll be watching the video. And if I look a bit weird, it's because I tried out this new makeup tutorial, and I've done this thing with like overlining your lips, and I feel a bit weird about it. But I'm just going with it for just now, and maybe by the end of this video I'll be used to it. Although I don't plan on looking at myself throughout the duration because it's weird. So I'm just going to stick my notes in front of me so that I can not have to stare at myself, because I've got a lot to say and I need my notes, and my face is only going to put me off. So yeah. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm going to get straight to the point, because I think that anyone listening to would just get annoyed if I beat around the bush. So no bushes are being beaten around. I am departing from ADHDAF. It's not a choice that's come easy, and I want to tell you the what, the why, and the what next kind of thing. But I felt like it was important for me to be able to do this on my own so that I can try and articulate everything that I need to say as best as I can. And it feels a bit self-indulgent, kind of, being here, talking on my own, telling you all about me. But it's important that I tell you about me, because this is about me. And this is what's going on. Basically, I've not been well. I've not been well for a long time, since probably September last year when I went back to university. And just to reiterate, I'm talking about my mental health. My physical health's all right. I mean, I did have surgery last week, but nothing serious. But yeah, my mental health's been pretty shocking, and it's been declining over the last year or so. And I've been not really paying attention to it, in denial. And finally, I've been able to recognize and take action. So yeah, that's led to this announcement, to me telling you that I'm going to be stepping away from ADHDAF. So what has happened? Well, basically, I got to a point where I was completely emotionally, physically in shutdown. And, that means shut down from life, friends, family, uni, work, just everything. And it's been a pretty horrible place, I'm not going to lie. And I'm all right at talking about some emotions, but I don't really tell the full story, and I don't really open up. And especially when I'm going through it, I'm really bad at not being able to talk to people about things when I'm kind of really in the depths of things, which is something I'm learning to work through. But I guess with it being ADHD Awareness Month, I really want to talk about self-awareness during this time. And like I said, it sounds a bit self-indulgent, but this is about me, and it's about self-awareness. So it's about how I came to this decision, and how I noticed what was going on, and how I'm managing to pull myself out of it. So things that I noticed are, the more people tried to help, the more helpless I became. It was almost like I was relying on people to carry me, and that's it really. The more people tried to help, the more helpless I became. And there was definitely elements of blame shifting, people, situations, just not recognizing my own responsibility in how I'm feeling, and the part that I was playing in it all. a lot of expectations of failure and repeating like past patterns of failure and mistake. So just trying to think this is how it always goes, this is how it always is. Definitely getting defensive about stuff and in denial about stuff, and I guess lying as well to protect myself. So a lot of shame was involved in that as well. Not big lies, but just not telling people how I'm feeling and how much I'm struggling and the paralysis that I was in. Just being really unprepared and disorganized, impulsivity, and at the same time being overcautious, not able to commit, but making impulsive decisions and saying yes impulsively without thinking things through, and then, realizing that I'd made wrong decisions. Severe lack of communication, depending on others too much, and a massive lack of self-trust. So believing that everybody else out there kind of knows what's best for me, when really it's only myself that knows that. So that's been a really big thing. And just this real sinking feeling, a feeling of impending doom. It's all falling apart. It's all getting worse, and there's nothing I can do about it. And just proper hopelessness. And I was just at the point where I was ready to give up and give in. And I know it probably sounds like I'm giving up and giving in, but I guess that's where I'll kind of continue to talk about why I'm not and what I am doing. So yeah, ADHDAF has been incredibly successful. Laura and I have said this many times that we never expected it to do as well as it has, and this doesn't happen. This doesn't happen to people. So it was never planned. It was never something that I expected. Therefore, it was never something I could have planned for. And I thought that starting a podcast alongside doing a degree was something that I'd be able to do, which it would have been if it was just a small little podcast in one little small city in Aberdeen that wasn't going to take off globally and have such success. So yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. It's been such a safari, like a safari on a roller coaster through a rainforest with like all of the scary animals. It's been there's been highs, there's been lows, there's been all sorts, and it's been an incredible time. But unfortunately, I can't keep up with both. I have been digging deep and trying to, but I can't keep up with both, and something has to give. And I realized that finishing uni for me is the most important thing for me, and so I need to focus on myself and get through university. And right now I'm messing up uni, I'm messing up ADHDAF, I'm messing up my life, my friendships, my relationships, and I need to stop. I've basically been in self-sabotage for the good part of a year, and I haven't been aware of it until now. So what have I done? I've had to dig deep, and I've got a new therapist, a coach. I've pushed to find out exactly what is going on. I've tried to go on a meds break to see if medication was part of the problem, but actually meds break gave me some clarity to see where the meds were helping and where they're not. And I've had to reach really deep inside and accept responsibility for my actions. And that in itself has all been really, really confronting, because I realised that I'm a people pleaser. And there's a book that I've started listening to, an audiobook by Emma Reed Turrell called Please Yourself. And she talks about the 4 different types of people pleasing in the first chapter. And I'll be honest, I haven't got much further than that at the moment. But even just finding out about what type of people pleaser I am has been like monumental in my progress. And so it turns out I'm a pacifier, which means that I choose peace over preference. So I am the type of person that wants to keep everything on this calm, level playing field. And I have been like that for as long as I can remember. So now I'm trying to figure out why and learn how to move out of that people-pleasing place. It's been pretty difficult to cope with, like I said, it's been really confronting, because as a people pleaser, I want everyone to be happy. I want everything to be okay all of the time, and for there to be no conflict and to be no confrontation and everything just to be fine. And so that means that I'm choosing peace over my own happiness, and I'm not choosing what's right for me. I'm not living in line with my values, and I don't have boundaries. So I've felt like it's been really confronting to be able to accept responsibility and realize that my actions are actually affecting other people. My actions are actually having a knock-on effect and upsetting and hurting other people. And that's not okay, because that's the exact opposite of what I want. So there's a lot of guilt and shame that I've carried as a result of that. But I am pushing through that, and I am able to recognize that my intentions are never to hurt anyone. My intentions have always been good. And so that is something that I can sit with and feel good about. I don't feel good about having hurt people or upset people along the way, but it was never intended. And so there has been a bit of panic and freaking out. I've had, been on the cusp of panic attacks and really been struggling to make sense of what's been going on. But that's just kind of spurred me into action, because it's just shown me that, something needs to change. Something's wrong and it needs to change. So yeah, like I can definitely see patterns in my behaviors, but I can also see the catalyst in the change. And it's been Laura, and it's been having her as a friend, because I've self-sabotaged every single workplace that I've been in. I've gone in and I've lost interest, and I've basically shut down and to the point where I'm just not pulling my weight. And every single job I've been in has been the same. And it gets to the point where I either have to leave, or I'm fired, or I'm, pushed out the door, because that's how it goes. And I've never had to really do anything about that, because I've just been able to get another job, and then the same things happened. But it's different with ADHDAF, because I started ADHDAF with Laura, and Laura is my friend. It's obvious that Laura and I are bound to have crossed wires and had arguments and come up against it time and again. I mean, we've spoken about it many times, and yeah, there's been struggles. And I think it's because, well, I guess it's because both of us are people pleasers. Both of us have been trying to do best by each other instead of focusing on ourselves. But the difference is that in this job, in this workplace, I couldn't just walk out. I couldn't just run away like I've done every other time, because I have a friend. There's a personal relationship involved here, someone I care about. And so I wouldn't ever walk out on her. I wouldn't just walk away. So I can't give up. I can't give in. And it's the same for Laura. She's not going to just get rid of me and tell me to fuck off. I'm sure she's thought about it many times, but she's not going to do that, because I'm her friend. And so that's where the difference is this time. And that's been the thing that's held this together and gotten me to the point of realization. Through communication, we've been able to come up with a plan on how we can move forward, and how we can actually move forward and both be looking after our own needs. I guess I'm lost where my notes are, but I can understand why Laura and I have come up against it and why we've had arguments and differences, because if I'm not communicating and if I don't have boundaries and I'm allowing her to take the workload away from me and not pull my weight, then she thinks she's doing the right thing by me because I'm enabling her behavior. So she thinks she's helping me, but actually that's not helping me at all, because it just makes me feel more useless. The more that's taken away from me, the more useless I feel. So even though we're trying to do the right thing by each other, it was never really benefiting anyone, because we have to do the right things by ourselves. And that's what I realize now. So yeah, essentially people pleasing has led to self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is all a result of ADHD coping mechanisms. that I've put in place from not having a diagnosis. And I guess there's past trauma involved as well. And it's ultimately down to not really knowing what my values are and not being able to set boundaries. So that's what I've been working on. I've been working on finding out what my values are in order to know even what a boundary looks like and how to set one. And it's like, it's taken a lot of work and it's going to take a lot more, but I'm getting there. I mean, lessons, I've learned so many lessons along the way. It's about, like I said, recognizing your values and your boundaries, focusing as an individual on what I want and what I need and how I feel, and not focusing on what other people think, feel, or how they act. Because I am not responsible, nor can I control other people's thoughts, feelings, actions, or emotions. I can only control my own. So trying to have control over other people's is never going to work. And I guess what else I've learned, because like I said, there has been blame shifting. It's easier to blame other people than it is to take responsibility sometimes. And so I've actually realized that blame is incredibly disempowering. It keeps you stuck. Responsibility allows you to move forward. And so I'll keep taking baby steps and keep chipping away and be more responsible and start putting some bloody self-care and self-love back into me, because I've preached about it, but I've definitely not put actions in place to do that for myself. So I'm very much doing that now, and it's having a massive effect, huge effect. And I've gone from someone who felt completely without joy to someone who's actually seeing glimmers and specks of joy in my life again, and I'm excited. I'm really excited. So yeah, I'm just so grateful for this situation. I'm so grateful for this platform. I'm so grateful for Laura coming into my life and everything that's come with it, because I'm not sure I would have got there if this didn't happen. I'm not sure I would have gotten to this point. And there's a saying that people come into your life for two reasons, a blessing or a lesson. And I'm like, no, sometimes it's both, right? Last week, the week before, I genuinely thought, this is all over and this relationship's done as well. We're not going to be able to be friends. We're not going to be able to have a relationship. It's just going to have to, cut off all ties and that's it. But thankfully, we've been able to be adults, and I'm so proud of us both for being able to be adults and focus on our own needs and put our own needs first, and then ensure that the needs of the other person are being met as well. And we've been able to come up with a decision that we're both really happy with. Yeah, so what's next, I guess? Well, ADHDAF is going to continue with Laura, and she'll keep you up to date with what's going on. Obviously, the community, the ADHDAF community is still going to be there, and I am going to be part of that. I'll be there as a member now, and I'm so excited to still be able to be part of that community, because that was something that I didn't want to lose, because this community is so incredibly important to me. Like, you guys helped me get my diagnosis. I wouldn't have been able to get my diagnosis at that time if it wasn't for you. And again, that's something I'm incredibly grateful for. So I'm still going to be a big part of the community, and there's scope for potential collaborations with Laura, with ADHDAF, and it's an incredible place. ADHDAF, the community, and everything that comes with it is such a wonderful, amazing place, and I'm so happy that I still get to be part of that. It's just that I have to focus on uni. I have to focus on myself and figure out who I am and what I want, because I can't keep going down other people's paths, because it just leads to emptiness. It leads me to feel empty, and it's not for me. It's not for me. I'm carving my own path now, and I'm very excited about that. But I'm still going to be on ADHDAF. I still have my Instagram handle. You'll probably see some daft videos and stuff of me. I'll be able to come out of social isolation and just post when I like, when I want, without the pressure. And that pressure was pressure. I just want to say that was pressure I've always put on myself. It's nobody else's pressure. I've put that pressure on myself, but I've put it on myself based on what I think others want, what I think others need, what I think I need to be doing, as opposed to what I want and feel like I need to be doing. So get your leopard print on, and stand proud with the ADHD AF leopard print army, because we're not going anywhere. It's just that Laura is going to be taking ADHD AF, and she's gonna roll with it. And I'm so incredibly proud of her. I am so thankful for everything that she's done for me and for sticking by me. And I'm so thankful for this community. I'm so grateful to this community. And I'm excited to see where Laura takes this next, because I know that she's destined for great things. When I saw Nicole Nadler do her show at Edinburgh Fringe, I bawled. Her debut show, I bawled my eyes out. And it's because I was so fucking proud of her. So proud. Seeing her up on stage, I just looked at her like a proud mum and thought, wow, this is what she was born to do. This is it. This is her. And it's like that when I see Laura working, because this is what she was born to do. And so I'm excited to see what she does with ADHDAF going forward. And I will always support and stand by her. It's just that the way it was going, I still support everything that ADHDAF does. It's just this isn't my path. And so I'm going to jump over onto my path. I'm going to crack on. And I'm always going to be in support of ADHDAF and the Leopard Print Army. ADHD awareness is so incredibly important to me, and it always will be. And yeah, the community, I just want to thank everybody that's listened, everybody that's shared, everybody that's supported, everybody that has been part of this safari, because it's been unreal. And yeah, I might not be on the podcast anymore, and I might not be on the ADHDF socials, but I will still be around on socials, on Donna's ADHDAF, because I am still ADHDAF. And I'm going to be doing things for me and doing things my way. And I'm really happy about that. And that's it, really. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much, because what a ride it's been. And yeah, I'm so excited to see where life takes me next. So thank you very much.
Okay, so these are my first reflections, just for memory for me. That's a bombshell, isn't it? I can't really explain how I feel. I've got such a heavy heart that it actually hurts a bit. But then I'm so full of pride. I'm so excited. I'm terrified. It's just the weirdest feeling. It's like all of the feels at once. I mean, Dawn has alluded to us fighting and things, and we absolutely have. But when you actually put it into context, it's hard when you're in it. But if you stand back from it and look at it, Dawn and I have literally spoken. I don't think there's a day that's gone by in the last 17 months when we haven't spoken. Like where I sit now, I can see Dawn's house as I sit here in my kitchen. We have literally lived in each other's pockets for 17 fucking months. As friends, as neighbours, as podcast co-hosts, as content creators, tour managers, show writers, everything that we have done over the last 17 months. So there really hasn't been that many fights at all when you look at it in that context. If you looked at it in the context of a normal relationship where you see each other every now and again, then it would seem like loads of fights, but not when you've literally lived. There are times when we've woken up together many times with the body doubling, but actually I'd go around and get Dawn up. We have absolutely lived in each other's pockets. So no, I don't actually think our relationship has been that tumultuous in any way, shape, or form. It's been hard. It's been really, really hard. I'm not going to lie. It's so hard to find the words. I really, really can't find the words. I really don't want to post this video, to be honest with you. But now I'm getting into it. Maybe I should. I've felt for a really long time that Dawn should focus more on uni. And I was afraid that she was I was afraid. The thing about people pleasing is, right, or the thing that we've always said, I've always said about ADHD is that sometimes our actions don't mirror our intentions, right? So I'll give you a really good example. If I'm really, really upset, sometimes I get a bit shouty and I don't even realise that I'm shouting. Obviously, if somebody raises their voice, then it can make the other person like revolt. Like, nobody wants to be around that. It's horrible. And actually, if I'm being like that, it's because I'm really upset. So when I'm upset about something, it's like, if I look my worst, I'm like going, please help me. But it looks like, it's a really weird thing. And I think with Dawn and the people pleasing, it's exactly the same thing. Sometimes our actions not only don't mirror, they convey the opposite of our intentions. And so, yeah, it oftentimes hasn't looked like people pleasing. But now that I think about it, in the sense that Dawn has been very, very driven, like this degree is her life goal. It means the absolute world to her. So the fact that she's stuck in with ADHDAF, I can now see that is like the main point. That's what she means by the people pleasing, is that she's got other things she needs to be doing. Like, her priority is over here and she's stuck in this thing with me to keep me happy. But obviously within that, because she's not been able to cope with both, it hasn't looked like that. And again, you know, with both of our people pleasing, you know, Dawn saying, I don't have time, or struggling to do something, feeling stuck in something, and I go, oh, don't worry, I'll just do it, thinking that's really, really helpful, but actually that makes her feel like she can do even less. I mean, obviously, that's caught between a rock and a hard place stuff, isn't it? Because if somebody isn't doing something, it's not going to get done, and if you do it, you're further stopping them from doing it. I can't win there. But I think the thing that's true throughout, and I will always say this, because I genuinely believe it in my heart and heart of hearts, is that we have both done our fucking best. I defy anybody to try as hard as we have both tried. We've really tried. Even if it doesn't look like it sometimes, that's our best. We've given it our best, and I'm so proud of us. I'm not going to cry. Nearly. So yeah. What else do I want to say? It's just so weird. I'm so gutted and I'm not gutted at the same time. When we started out, that first 100 downloads, that first 1,000 downloads, first whatever, was just unbelievable, and nobody will ever know what that feels like. Nobody will ever be able to understand the bond that we share and what we have been through. Oh, God, shut up, Laura. So we will always have that. And, you know, there are times on the tour, and it's so funny because I think I've been so worried that I sort of look like I'm some kind of bully, which I'm not, because I've done everything the whole time to support Dawn, to champion Dawn. You know, the things that she's felt uncomfortable, or situations where she's felt uncomfortable, I've tried to champion her, like singing, or like I've even, you know, sort of stood behind. And that's my trauma. That's not just ADHD, that's my trauma. And when we've been in those situations, like on a stage, there's just been these moments where, to me, it's just been absolute magic. Like, I've literally, oh my God, she's there. I'm filming and she's there. Where is she going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, she's going to the sea. So obviously you can see there's no beef, right? But yeah, it has been absolute magic. The serendipity of it all, the story of it all, fucking karaoke bingo. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. That's fucking genius. I'm really sad. Not that it's over, because like we've said, you know, we do hope to collaborate again in future once Dawn's finished uni and all being well, and I haven't fucking run it into the ground or run myself into the ground by then. I love it all, and I'm so proud of us, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm absolutely terrified that everyone's gonna fuck off. You know, of the two that could leave, I mean, it could at least be the one that doesn't have an annoying voice, right? So yeah, unfortunately, you're stuck with the squeaky one, the chatty one, the over-emotional ranty one. You're stuck with me. But please stick with me. Because even if you feel, like so many do, that you relate more to Dawn, I get it. I really am fucking weird. I totally get it. You know, I really am. And if you are more like Dawn than you are like me, and so you resonate from hearing more from her, I promise you that so much of this has come from me, that even if you think I'm the most annoying person in the world, if you like ADHD AF, you do like me. But in all seriousness, in my heart, it physically hurts in my heart. I'm really sad about it. But I'm really happy about it too. I came in here on a fucking mission. It was only ever going the way that it's going. And I would love you to stick with me. I know that Dawn is, and she's going to be in the community. And I can't wait to see what she creates at university. I can't wait to see what she goes on to do. And I've got so many big plans for the community. I'm building something, and I'm going to get there. And fuck me, it's been so hard making any decisions, even the most basic of decisions, if you've got two fucking people pleasers. Can you actually imagine it? If, funny enough, Dawn actually said that us making the decision that we've made for Dawn to step down now and for me to carry on and for her to focus on uni is probably the only fucking thing we have ever agreed on. It's true. It's totally true. It wasn't easy. I wish that uni was over already, and I wish that we were just going to go and tour the world with the Too Much Tour, and, you know, I wish that she was going to be there on Monday. I feel really sad about ADHDAF Day. That's our day, that she won't be there with me. But it is the right thing. It's the right thing. And I'm really, you know, I've always suspected self-sabotage. There hasn't been a day where I've been like upset about something that Dawn's done and thought that she was a horrible person or she was doing it on purpose. Like, what kind of a hypocrite would I be if I was annoyed with Dawn for having ADHD? But I have suspected self-sabotage for a really, really long time. And I feel like it literally makes my heart burst with joy to see that she can see that. Like, that is just incredible. That's an incredible thing. Dawn is healing, and she's going to be even more fucking amazing than she already is. And I'm going to be fucked. Because probably half of our listenership will go. And then I'm going to work even harder and even harder. And then, I'm not going to have Dawn there to tell me not to overthink or to over-worry or to over-analyse something that I've said, or when I get upset about an email or I'm suddenly stuck in choice paralysis because I think that everyone's going to cancel us because I've said the wrong thing or something's happened and there's just going to be me. Yeah. But there is something that I have very much taken on board on this safari, and credit to Rachel Slattery for Safari, by the way, is that although I haven't got to that place that people like the ADHD Love Couple and Eric have got to, where they can just delete anything nasty and fuck everybody and don't care what people think, I haven't got there. But what I have got is what Clementine Ford told us. When we and Dawny got up at 5 a.m. and I ran across the 6 paces to Dawn's house to interview Clementine Ford, how the fuck did that even happen? She said that when you care about something so much, it just doesn't, it's not that it doesn't matter what people think, but you know what you believe in is right and you will do anything to fight for it. And I do have that. That is what I have. And I will continue to fight. And I really, really hope that you'll stay with me and stick around for much more of the same, but with a massive chunk missing, a void that will never be filled the same. But the safari continues, and I'm really, really proud of Dawn, and I'm so incredibly grateful. What the fuck? I still what? The funniest thing is, we're about to hit 1 million downloads. She says we're about to. We are 40,000 downloads away from hitting 1 million downloads. And for some reason, or not for some reason, but this is how insane it's got, that 40,000 sounds like 10. Like that's a normal number. Like, I'll get that, no worries. Who the hell are we? What the hell happened? How did this happen? It's insane. It's insane. And sometimes you forget, because when you're so inconstant, it's like I said about this idea of us fighting all the time. We don't fight all the time. We barely fight because we live in each other's pockets. It's perspective. And it's just been ridiculous. So thank you for being here. It really means the world. And my God, what a roller coaster. I'm going to shut up now. I probably should never share this video because I look so awful, but it does feel very authentic. And so proud of Dawn and so grateful for her and for everyone. Gosh, I'll shut up now. Bye.
Do you know what this feels like when Robbie left Take That, doesn't it? That's what this feels like now. I can see it now, like Gary Barlow, Take That. Oh no more. It's imprinted on my brain forever. But ADHDAF continues.
Yes.
And
It's a weird time.
it is a weird time.
But
Dawn came by after. So obviously when I was can we start again? Basically, I watched Dawn's video. Dawn sent me that video.
yeah.
And I immediately recorded my first reflections for my own mind, because I know what I'm like, and I could have sat and worried and thought, and then I would have written a load of stuff and it wouldn't have even related probably. So I wanted to just go for myself. That video is for myself.
Yeah.
But then actually everything came out right. And then Dawn walked past the window and it was comedy gold. So we stuck with it. I'm absolutely appalled by how dreadful I look. In my defense, I just sent 75 press releases back to back. So I was just delirious. And anyway, that wasn't me. That was my dad in a wig. And I don't know where he got that turban from. But yeah, I looked horrendous. So at least I've got some eyebrows on now.
Well, you didn't. You just looked horrendous. And
like Charlize Theron,
hardly.
Friggin' Mrs. Doyle of Father Ted falling off the windowsill turned up.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. I came round and then I watched the video.
So Dawn then came back round, watched the video,
bawled my eyes out.
Yeah,
and the pair of us had more cries, and we've had a night to sleep on things, and here we are just doing, I guess, final reflections, and obviously a video together, because we're like,
there's no beef.
There is no beef. Like, genuinely, I love this girl.
There's never really been beef.
No.
There's been hurt feelings, but there's only actually ever really hurt feelings if you're actually invested in the relationship, in the other person. If there's just like, oh, whatever, fuck her, that means you don't care. The reason why there's conflict is because we both care. That's the point.
And it's always been about ourselves.
Yeah.
And it's like projected problems that are,
Yeah.
So it's
micromanagement and of a weight of responsibility of, well, I have to make sure that this is all right because then they're going to react like this, and if I do this and blah, blah, blah. But actually none of it.
All we've ever done is try and look after each other's best interest.
Yeah. And to our own detriment.
Yeah.
And that's the fucking kicker, is it's not just that, is that it's then been to the detriment of the other as well.
Yeah.
Which is the fucking ridiculous bit. But if you'll allow me to dive in, can I dive in?
Yeah,
so
please
obviously,
do.
so then I've come away, and obviously Charlize Theron sat there with her notes, and Mrs. Doyle babbled and cried and snotted all over the fucking camera.
Charlize Theron was wearing a dry robe, a pair of red wellies. She'd just done her makeup because she was feeling fancy.
And Mrs. Doyle wants you all to have a cup of tea, so get one, because I've written some stuff now, so it's my turn to actually speak a little bit more coherently. Okay, so it'll be half notes and half me ad-libbing as always, as awful too. Yeah, that's a shoe fit. So obviously, like, one of the main things that feels really emotional is the start and how things came about, and it was such a special time. And one of the special times that's been in my mind is our first ever not photo shoot, but the press came round. It was the first time we were in the press.
Yeah.
And this local photographer came round, this old dude.
Think about, is it Afterlife, the TV show? Yeah, Afterlife, the photographer, when they go round to like the houses and stuff.
It was like that. And this guy came round, and we're there in the same t-shirt, and we're kind of laughing at the awkwardness because I was so tall, and he was trying to model us so that I didn't look like a giant, and it was all that stuff. And we were like laughing and joking. And he compared us to French and Saunders, right? Now, the reason why this is funny, and I know I look in serendipity and all things, and that's just who I am, but also who I am is a massive nerd that holds on to random bits of pop culture from time gone by. That's literally who I am. So I have had in my mind, so since 2016, I randomly watched the Glamour Awards, Woman of the Year Awards, and Jennifer Saunders won the Outstanding Contribution. This is true. I haven't gone back and looked for this. This has lived rent-free in my head since 2016, right? I even showed you that video a few months ago.
Yeah, you have.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And so she wins Outstanding Contribution, and Dawn French introduces her. And it's just the most brilliant thing. Like, so many of us, if you're our age, then you grew up watching French and Saunders and what they went on to do and all the rest of it. So I watched it. It was wonderful to see them on the stage together. And then Jennifer says, if I have made an outstanding contribution to anything, I hope that it is in the promotion of female friendships. Now, the word female, I think it's really interesting because, you know, obviously from day dot, we've gone to great lengths to make sure, even though it's not really worked because the branding's pink as well, but to make sure that people know this is a gender inclusive space. But the only reason why we use the word female, we've now, you know, broken that thing of saying, well, it means we can get in the press while we're saying ADHD is fuck, ha ha ha, which we've just thrown ourselves under the bus with. We don't even do that anymore. But I just think it's interesting that it's the word female. But like I said, I think it's funny I've held on to this random speech and then to be likened to the duo, but then you realise that her name is Dawn and my middle name is Jennifer. The serendipity continues, but more than that, we need to remember to follow their lead. They both went on to do amazing things separately with enormous success. Both Ab Fab and the Vicar of Dibley were huge, and rather than rivalry, they continued to be each other's cheerleaders, having come into this together out of respect for their roots and their love for each other, an unbreakable bond that they share. That's what I want for us, whatever lies ahead. So I am sure that I won't be causing any distress to Dawn in saying this. We have discussed this, so it's not, there's no tit for tat, there is no throwing under the bus, right? She has taken enormous accountability, is taken bravery to do what she's done. But I need to acknowledge how much of this is me. I alluded to it, but I haven't said it. And I'm not doing so. Sorry, I can't read my own typing. In not doing so, it damaged my self-worth immeasurably along the way. And I feel that if I don't do so now, my concern is that carrying on with ADHD AF might also damage my integrity. I obviously need a bit of time to figure out what I'm going to do next and what the future looks like, find a way forward. But if all the things that I do choose to continue with, so like the questions, or the most ADHD thing is the one that really sticks out, right?
Yeah.
The things that I choose to continue with, and not because I'm saying, oh, well, Dawn's gone, but it's a willing formula, let's just crack on, is because those are my words.
Yeah.
I wrote them. And so that's why when I said, if you love ADHDAF, then you do like me, is because so much of this is me.
And I think I touched on it in my video. Did I speak about Zoe Joanna coaching and the analogy of paths, and we all have our paths, and sometimes we get caught up and we end up following someone else down their path. And that's essentially what I've done. So Laura's always been leading the way, and I've just been running behind her, sometimes falling over, sometimes getting distracted and all sorts. But it's been her
and
path.
Sometimes being oppositional, which is why it's weird. It's like, oh, but he's anything. But it's true, you have been following my path. But I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because I was telling Laura all the time that, everything is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And of course, it's not that I've been doing things that I don't want to do, because I would have never have done that.
No.
But I've been doing things that it's like, that's not the direction that I would have taken it in, or where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I don't support her, because I always have and I always will.
Yeah.
And that's the difference.
Yeah, exactly that. So that's that. So if you see more of the same, it's not because I'm going, well, fuck Dawn, I'm just going to carry on. It's because that's what I put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to have a little ramble about me.
And I'm going to get this cat in, because
the cat
just giving away to everybody the...
You're going to headbutt me.
Because she's meowing outside the door and it's going to do my head in.
Okay. So a little bit about me. The life that I've lived has always been about community, communal living. I lived on a tiny island in Thailand in an expat community, and the same in Ibiza. Oh, hello, Jess. So when I left those places, yes, I missed the sunshine and the hedonism, lost my place, but really I missed the community living. And that is part of what brought me to Fitty. To find another weirdo, to live in an unconventional way. It's a weird thing to have the keys to each other's houses and pull each other out of bed, but to be able to live in a weird way where time doesn't really exist, for example. And again, I think about those early days when we were trying to answer all the messages, like we had to put that holding message, because there's no words for how many messages we received.
Oh yeah, it was
like
insane.
Literally, I would get up at 3 a.m. and lie there on the sofa until noon and still not dent it. Those were the days we were in.
Yeah.
You were at work, and then you'd sort of swap shift, come home. We weren't getting anywhere. But anyway, that's not the point, but it's just another memory, basically. To lean into the weird, or rather, to turn and face the strange. It meant everything to me. To be fully myself and work in a way that I can work, having always felt unemployable, has literally been the making of me. However, that is also a life without boundaries. I know Dawn's main message is about living to your core values and doing what you need to do for you, finding your path. But my main message is that, much like the other far less well-known and hilarious Dawn and Jennifer, the power of female friendship is my message. We have both found our way in our relationship with each other. But then, for people like us, the danger lies in our own vulnerabilities. Yes, we need freedom and a world without timeframes, etc. But without boundaries, we are in danger. So, always show compassion to how ADHD or any kind of condition or past trauma shows up in the people in your life. Always try to show, as Rich from ADHD Love said, curiosity, not judgment.
Here.
But you must have your boundaries in place. Because if you tolerate behavior that is detrimental to your life, then not only can that damage your self-worth, but all the while that you think you're taking one for the team, you could very well actually be causing damage to the other person. So in our relationships, both compassion and communication are vital, as we must be compassionate to our own vulnerabilities and communicate them. And now I've got a quote because I'm a nerd. So this is from Anais Nin. I'm not going to pretend to know who she is, but I love this. Okay. Each friend represents a world in us, a world possibly not born until they arrive. And it is only by meeting this, I'll start again. Each friend represents a world in us, a world possibly not born until they arrive. And it is only by this meeting that a new world is born.
Oh.
So there you go. That's my tuppence worth.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And it's times are changing. They're moving forward and things are going to be different. But
They always are.
yeah, but what remains is this friendship, and it was something that I thought I was losing, and I wasn't prepared to do that. So
Yeah.
we both had to dig deep.
We've
So
had to dig deep.
this is where we are.
It's a very hard thing. Like you said a little while ago, you were like, we've gone on this safari and it's taken over our lives. And that's out of choice. We want that. Like I said, all I've ever wanted is community, and we have that, right? But we've helped other people, and at times that has been to our own detriment.
Yeah.
And at a time, it's funny because when I think about those first episodes, it was April the 29th or something we recorded, something like that, right? But I only started medication like 4 weeks prior to that. And I was only diagnosed 8 weeks prior to that.
Yeah.
And 2 or 3 weeks prior to that, I was done. Like, I really am very lucky to be here. I nearly wasn't here anymore. January was the end of me. So that's very quick to then be launching yourself off into the world. Yeah. And then you had nearly a whole nother year behind me until you even got that medication. Yeah. Because not a whole year, but if I started medication in March, you didn't start till the end of December.
End of December, yeah.
So then you've got all of that. I mean, we all move at different paces, and it's not linear, but do you know what I mean? Like, you had your educational psychologist, but actually on that path of treatment,
there was so much to understand, so much to learn, not just about ADHD, but about ourselves, about each other. And yeah, ADHDAF has been a catalyst in both of us turning our lives around. Yeah. And like, for that's going to sit with me forever. Yeah. That is going to be in my heart forever. And that's ours. It's no one else's.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh. And it's like for me, there are lots of things that I don't say, and I don't say them. It's the most frustrating thing in the world, because if I met you in the pub, I would tell you my life story in half an hour. But because this public platform is now so public, out of respect for other people in my life, I can't say everything. Yeah. And I think that then, as that's gone on, and then not admitting how much I was doing and how much was not my ideas, but how much I was steering the ship. Yeah. I started to just get lost in it all. The thing that was missing was kind of me. Yeah. And that was really tough. But
I think that's been the same for both of us. That's the thing that's been missing in all of us is we ourselves. Yeah. 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 Absolutely.
Exactly that. So we have a very special episode coming on Tuesday, which you're not going to give away just yet. Oh, actually, no, not yet.
Almost.
And then on Wednesday, our usual benefit, the gold patron benefit of Live Blether, we've decided to make a special, we turn it into an episode for the podcast. We decided that anyway to close
that was always
ADHD Awareness Month.
And all of what's happened with this and what's happening with us and moving forward it's kind of serendipity again that it's happened on ADHD Awareness Month.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's just all come to a close here.
Yeah.
Not even a close. It's like new beginnings.
New beginnings. Exactly.
And so it's serendipity. And our last episode on the end of ADHD Awareness Month is with our community.
Exactly.
So it's going to be an extra special episode.
The last one of us as a duo in this form.
Yeah.
In this format at this
exactly.
moment. So if you're listening on the podcast, obviously we're talking to the community. If you're listening on the podcast, then if you would like to join us for our last episode as a duo and be interviewed by us, God knows how the fuck we're going to do that. I'll probably be bawling for the whole thing. It'll be 6 hours long. I don't even know how we're going to, it's probably going to be chaos. It's going to be organised chaos, but we'll just see how it pans out, right?
Yeah. And we will try and ensure that we can give as many people a voice as possible. Hopefully all of you, but you're just going to have to bear with us because we don't know who's all going to turn up.
It's going to go.
But obviously we'd love to have you there, and we'd love to have you in the ADHDAF community. I am still going to be in that community. I'm still going to be on Patreon. I will be a member. I will be a gold member in the community, and I'm not going anywhere because the community is so, so, so important to me. And that was one thing I was so scared of losing.
Yeah.
And so I'm still going to be there 100%, and I'm still going to be supporting Laura and the Leopard Print Army. Wherever she takes them. And so join the community. Just because I'm not going to be part of ADHD, like support this.
ADHDAF.
I
know it every time. It's that ADHD.
Yeah. Just because I'm not going to be part of ADHDAF, the podcast, and everything that is, doesn't mean to say that I'm not fully supportive of it. And
you're still part of it. You'll always be part of it, but just not a weekly episode of Dawn and I.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Dawn is in her 3rd year of university.
Yeah. So the community will still go on, and Laura still needs your support to be able to continue doing the incredible work that she's doing. So please stick with Laura and stay in the community. And if you want to join and help and support, then please join, because it is such an amazing place.
Yeah.
And
it truly is. So then on Monday, so you'll be listening to this on Saturday if you're in the community. You'll be listening to this on Sunday if you've got it straight away, if you're out there. And Monday is ADHDAF Day. It is the 2nd annual ADHDAF Day, and we are using it to launch the Make It Count campaign. Just in a nutshell, we are asking the government for numbers, and we're going to do it in person. So we're going to be just outside taking a photograph at Holyrood at 9 a.m. and Westminster at 4 p.m. And the wonderful Claire of Summon Fire Photography is going to be at Welsh Parliament HQ at 11 a.m. all on Monday, the 23rd of October. And should you happen to be passing, and should you happen to be in leopard print, what a coincidence that would be, to come and take a photograph of us. That would be lovely. But wherever you are in the world, just like last year, and we can't tell you how amazing it was to have you all stand with us last year. So wherever you are in the world, whatever time zone you're on, if you could just slap on one piece of leopard print, as much as you like, mind, but just slap it on that day and take a photograph or a video, put it on your socials, put it on your socials, tag us.
Don't. You sound like the Patrick Swayze that was at the theatre last night in Dirty Dancing. Oh my God, it was a thirst trap. I'll talk about that another time. But yeah, it was a thirst trap. But the guy's accent was terrible.
Patrick Swayze.
So not that was, but it sounded like that.
Strap. Yeah. What am I even talking about? So yeah, wear a bit of leopard print, take a photo or a video, tag us, tell us where you are in the world and how long you had to wait, or you are suspected to have to wait on the waiting list. Please.
Yes.
As that is part of our Make It Count campaign, which is a wider campaign leading up to the general election. But if you are not on any kind of waiting list, or even suspect that you are neurodivergent or anything, and you just want to stand with us, then just want a bit of leopard print and take a picture. We would love you forever for it. Yeah. Please do stand with us. Because everybody knows somebody who's affected.
Yeah, 100%.
There's no way that they're not. So please stand with us. And if you would like to send those details, but you don't want to send a photograph, you can do it. You can send it to louise.louisa on Instagram.
Yes.
So after all of that, so after this, after Monday being in Holyrood and Westminster in one day, and then Wednesday, our last recording as a duo in this form with the community, and the most monumental and intense ADHD Awareness Month, both outside of our little bubble and inside our little bubble.
Yeah.
I might need a fucking lie down. But I've got some shows to promote. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I might just need a week to just fall into my bed. But then I'm going to get back up again and I'm going to promote these shows.
Yeah.
And I really hope to see you there because, as I said, there are things that I cannot say. But Christmas is a triggering time for me. And that's why it's important to me.
And as I've said before, if I can be at any of those shows, I will be there supporting Laura 100% because I'd love to be with you all. But obviously with uni and with what's happening, with me trying to get my life back on track, I need to focus on me for a bit. So that's what I'm going to do. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be with you in person on Monday, but I will be there in spirit and I will be clad head to toe in leopard print, I can assure you.
Yeah, brilliant. And I'll be updating live from the day. And it'll be good.
Yeah.
Leopard print army.
Leopard print army.
But like, we're sorry if anybody's upset or anything. Like, I mean, she's not actually Bobby. And take that, ADHDF isn't splitting up.
Yeah.
It's just not. That Dawn needs to do a degree.
And we are doing this, and like we've spoken about, this is an adult decision that we've both made and we're both happy with, although there is sadness and there is, things are changing or whatever. Evolving, yes. Yeah.
The next evolution of the Safari.
We're not sad about it in a way that we need to grieve. Well,
I don't know. I'm a bit griefy. It comes and goes, but it's the right thing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what takes away the sadness, is that we both know we're doing what's right, and that's the important thing from all of this. Is it's right. And
is it don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened, or something? Is the quote?
Yeah, and
it is that. It's exactly that. And I'm so happy that we've got to this place. That you've got to this place. That you know what you want to do.
Yeah.
And we just have to go and be Dawn and Jennifer. Yay. So thank you. And
so live long and prosper. That's all I've got.
She's diving out Fanny first.
Oh yeah.
End it. Take it home, Donnie. So
we're back.
It wouldn't be us if we hadn't forgotten something, right? So in every episode, when we interview somebody, we always say, do you think you've covered anything? Is there anything that we've missed? And so I made sure we asked ourselves that question. We both sat here and went, no, that's everything. And then went, no, because that's how it goes, right?
Absolutely.
So I want to say, and I know I've said it before, that Big is the unsung hero of this podcast.
Yeah.
Genuinely, there would be no ADHD AF without Big.
Yeah. And I've actually been scared to see him.
Yeah.
Recently, like I've genuinely been scared to see him
because he's scary.
Because of guilt and shame. Because I know that what my actions have affected Laura, which have affected Big. So he's had to put up with a lot as a result of everything that's going on. So he's a fucking legend.
He's a fucking legend.
I love you.
Yeah, I think it's also like, for me, it's such a weird thing because it's like he married a different woman. And that's also part of it as well. We've said that about when we started the podcast, is that, it looks like I'm go, go, go. And it doesn't matter how many times I explain it to anybody. I promise you I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was very, very, very stuck, drowning in shame and all the paralysis that goes with that. And so it's almost weird because I don't even know how he put up with that person. I don't know why he married that person.
But can I just point out that he's extremely lucky because he might have married a different person, but like a fine wine. You're just getting better and better.
Oh, thank you.
And so,
But yeah, it's very, very strange, but so grateful. And I have ignored him. I have worked myself into the ground. I've got the most disgusting ganglion on my hand. Like, that can't be right. That's not right. It doesn't just stick out when my hand is like that now. It sticks out even when it's flat. That's not right. Get your Bibles out. But the point is that, like, I've really ploughed everything into this.
Yeah.
And as a result, he has suffered a bit for that.
Yeah.
And great sacrifice has been made by all of us.
Yeah.
But it has to be acknowledged that great sacrifice has been made by Big. So I cannot say thank you enough for sticking by me and for believing in both of us.
Yeah.
And sacrificing so much to make this happen for our community.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess my final kind of notes, reflections are that I just want to, I guess, apologize to Laura for the hurt and pain that I've caused her, and to Big as well, and just to everyone in my life and anyone that I might have hurt along the way, because I have been in not a great place for a long time, and now I'm coming out of it. I hope that I can move forward, and just thank everybody that stuck by me along the way, because I probably wouldn't be where I am without you all. So
exactly.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
likewise. And I'm sorry for, I can't say sorry for not knowing things that you didn't tell me.
No, exactly.
But I can apologize to a degree for not reading between the lines right. I read between the lines and I got what was going on, but I didn't understand what was going on at the same time, if that makes sense. And I didn't understand that my actions were causing you distress as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously, as we said, it was neither of our intentions.
No,
so.
exactly.
Yeah. But like we say, we've done our best.
Yeah.
And the community still stands, and we're both still in it. And we're in it for the long haul.
To infinity and beyond.
Oh God, I know. Get out!
ADHDS females, ADHDAF, ADHDS females, the podcast.
We did it for the acronym.